Hey, what's up? So my name's Eric Navarro, and I just got done reading the Eva and Franco Matt's book, and pretty much what I got out of it. In the beginning, they started talking about Luther Blissett, which wasn't a person; it was a network of different people. It was a network of musicians, activists, artists, writers, etc. that just kind of played media pranks, had exhibitions, demonstrations just to show us how skewed we are by the media, how easily manipulated we are by the media, which kind of led to the Darko and Maver project, which is a made-up artist. They kind of started off as just putting different websites depicting his life and his fake work, which was he put it as corpses and deformed animals and deformed animals and humans, which is pretty weird. Um, and then it started going into them putting out fake magazine articles and fake press releases, which then led to actual real articles. And then after that, the 48th Venice Biennale hosted a screening for his fake documentary, um, which kind of shows you that the media, I mean, we should all know this already, but the media isn't always right. It should kind of show you, what is real, what is fake, what is is the media telling us the truth? And a good example is in the beginning of the book, they talked about them doing the satanic ritual performing a fake satanic ritual with some meat and floppy disks. And then the journalists just kind of made up fake details. They didn't research on what they were kind of talking about, and they just made up fake details to make it more interesting and more readable, etc. Yeah, I don't shouldn't always trust what you read. And then, anyways, Evan Franco, he also stole small pieces, like fragments from famous art and from museums in the USA and Europe, and later claimed it as their own, which is very controversial. A lot of people don't like them for that. They say that they're not real artists; they just steal. They shouldn't be even claimed as artists, which is kind of true. Um, I personally agree with that. I didn't really finish reading the chapters, so I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about that. But um, anyways, and then they also had another thing called Net.art, which was kind of like a sequel to Luther Blissett. They did kind of the same thing. They made a little more on the internet side. They made fake websites, fake identities, etc. And then they did a live sharing on the internet where people could kind of just look into their home computer and see their personal information, their music, their pictures. They even carried a GPS around, and you could see exactly where they were at any time of the day. And that was for 3 years. So they were completely exposed for 3 years, which is insane. And it's kind of the same as how we are now, not entirely as radical as they were, but as far as Facebook and Twitter and MySpace and all that stuff goes. As far as Twitter and Facebook, I think is more similar as Twitter, just because I never had a Twitter, but in Twitter seems like you actually follow a person. They say, "Oh, I'm at McDonald's eating a chicken, blah blah blah," and then he's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." While in Facebook, it's more of like, "Oh, how was your day?" Um, you talk to like long lost friends and family. So I think live sharing is more of a combination of both Facebook and Twitter. Well, it's like a combination of both Facebook and Twitter. I don't think live sharing is just as similar to just Twitter and to just Facebook. Um, so yeah, if that makes sense. And then Evan Franco also got into Second Life. Their avatars weren't really like most people would do. Is just kind of make a kind of not a fake appearance, but just an appearance different to their own. So I guess it is fake. Um, Evan Franco more did a more realistic approach to that. They depicted them. actually themselves are real people. Um, I I think it's because kind of for 10 years they had been already had different identities, such as Luther Blissett, Darko Mayer, or Maver, how do you say that? Or as when they did the Nike Project, things like that. So there was really no need to be different or someone else in Second Life. And then they also had a Nike Project, which was pretty cool. They put a big, pretty much they just said for I forgot what city they're gonna change the name to that had Nike in it. And it really just shows us how deeply tied our society is with major corporations and how easily manipulated we are by them. They kind of pretty much nowadays just decide what we eat, what we wear, what trend we're gonna be in, what music we listen to, what's cool, what's not, etc. And we really, as far as Starbucks and the Starbucks in our library goes, I wouldn't want to see that name change, just because it makes it seem more as an advertisement for the Starbucks. It kind of seems like our school is selling out their library. I guess it's more as an aesthetic. Um, yeah, I just wouldn't want to see the name change. I don't think it would change the intake of how many people go into Starbucks, just because we're gonna go in there for coffee and to read. It's not gonna change. You get me? If you either if you change the Starbucks library to Kelsey library, we're still gonna do the same thing in there. Nothing's gonna change. So I guess it's just kind of I just don't want it to. All right. So thank you.